Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. On the line today, we have John Bates, who is the chairman of the trade show committee that helped organize this. You can either type your questions in right now or in discussion mode. If we get a lot of background noise, we may have to switch it to a meeting mode where you'd be muted. But so you can either type in your questions or you can interrupt. Some of the information has been presented in other webinars. Some of it is new. This is a dynamic show that we're putting together, and based on the numbers, we've had to change some of the logistics as we've gone along, and I'll explain where we're at on all of that. As you know, this is our members only end buyer show, and we've gone over the schedule. It hasn't changed. You could start arriving around 9:15 for packet pickup. Your packet will have your name badge, your color-coded lanyard, and so on. And we'll begin serving a continental breakfast, which will be pastries and breakfast pastries and coffee up in the Hall of Legends, which is up on the third level, which is where Paul Bellantone will be giving his presentation. Not really an end buyer panel discussion. It will be his presentation on the power of the promotional products, and he's very interactive, very engaging with buyers. He's been doing this presentation or a variation of it for about the past year. At 11 o'clock, the show will open. We've got 100 booths, and we line Adams Street on both sides with pipe and drape booths. So I've got a diagram of that in upcoming presentations, in upcoming slides on this presentation. Stadium tours, basically we filled all of the 3 o'clock slots, so 3:45s are open now. And then really the reception starts at 3 o'clock. We'll have appetizers and a cash bar opening at 3, and that will be available. Rory will be around the Lions mascot. We'll have photographers, a lot of stuff going on, making it a fun day. Real quickly, everyone knows, should know by now, members only, no distributor advertising. That only applies to distributors. If your client's a Culligan man and he wants to wear his Culligan shirt, that's fine with us. If he's wearing that great shirt that you've provided for him, that's fine as long as it's his logo on it, not yours. Goes without saying, this is a professional event, no solicitation of other people's clients, no distribution of business cards. Don't be trying to lure away that top salesman from your competitor. This isn't the place to do that. And of course, no children's or pets. This is a professional meeting. I'll talk about show promotion and follow-up as we're getting close now. It really should be more like show reminders. This is only open to MIPA members, he said, for the 500th time. And we haven't had really any issues with multiple registrations so far. So I'm going to keep going. Where you're going to park and where you're going to enter. We're entering at Gate G, and the Ford Field parking deck is located right across from that. This is at 1902 St. Antoine. So if you're planning or telling your clients to go to Ford Field and they go to Google's Maps is probably going to send them to 2000 Brush Street, which is the west side of the stadium. We're entering at the east side. And so 1902 St. Antoine is the place you want to be. We talked a lot about parking passes. Originally, we were going to have a separate parking pass that you needed to get in and have the parking paid for. Trying to work with the logistics of how many cars are going to be arriving and leaving, it's been decided we're going to go honor system. So just have yourself and your people, as you pull in, tell the attendant you're with MIPA. They'll mark it down and they'll send MIPA the bill for the parking. If for some reason they miss that, and they get inside and they didn't do that, they've got a parking ticket and they're concerned about it, see any of the MIPA staff people will be wearing bright blue Promotions That Roar jerseys. We will validate the parking ticket if that if that comes to pass. But parking should be just drive-in free, but make sure it is this lot at St. Antoine. It's the Ford Field parking deck. If they park in the Tigers parking garage, we can't help you. If they park at a meter, we can't help you. The free parking is only at St. Antoine entrance. And here's a map. I've put this presentation up for download. You'll find it on the upper left side of your screen if you need any of these maps. But that's what the parking structure looks like. That's where the entrance at Gate G looks like. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And that's where the location is. So you can see St. Antoine Street, and the parking deck is on the east side of Ford Field. And that's where you're going to want to be. So you parked in the St. Antoine parking deck, you've crossed the street, you enter at Gate G. This is the exciting venue that we're at. As you come in, you'll see the escalators right to the left there. That big open area showing that little cart with the umbrella, that's the East Atrium, where we're going to have places set up for you to sit down, meet with your clients throughout the day, rest, grab some coffee or some water, and just kind of regroup. Looking straight ahead, you see Adams Street. Adams Street is where all the exhibits are going to be, lining both sides, the entire length of the field. As people walk the show, they'll be able to look over to the right, and they'll be able to see the field down below them, all the stands. It's really an exciting venue. On Wednesday morning, you can start arriving around 9:15. As I mentioned, enter at Gate G. We're going to have everything color-coded, basically red, black, and blue. Red lanyards and red tables are for you, the distributors. This is where your pickup's going to be. We will have everything pre-printed and available to you alphabetically by your last name. So yeah, just like going to a running event or a sporting event where you've had a pre-registration, you'll see A through D, E through H, or whatever. You'll get in that line, grab your packet. We've got a lot of people. We've hired 10 staff people from Ford Field to help us with this. So it should be a pretty quick, fast, and very consistent experience for you. You'll grab your packet, and then you'll go and grab your show bag, and you'll be ready for the show. If you're there before the show starts, you can head on up the escalators to the third level to the Hall of Legends for Paul Bellantone's presentation. Now your guests come in, everything's going to be color-coded black for them. Black tablecloths on their registration tables. They'll be receiving black lanyards. Your lanyards are going to be red. Surprise. These packets also will be pre-printed. It's going to be available for them alphabetically, except they'll be going up based on your company name. So you invited them. If your company name starts with S, you send them to the S line. If there starts with a C, you send them to the C line, and so on. So very easy. They pick it up. Some distributors have nearly 100 end buyers signed up. Others have, 2 or 3. But we will have all of those isolated by the distributor, and so they will pick up their packet by the distributor name. They will then pick up a gift bag, which will be filled with some items donated by our suppliers, and be able to get a t-shirt, size large and size extra large only, but that will be available, and they'll be all set to either go into the show if it's 11 o'clock or later, or head on up to see Paul Bellantone's presentation at the Hall of Legends. That third color blue is going to be us staffers, the exhibitors. Everybody who's not either a distributor or end buyer will be color-coded blue. We're also going to have a blue table, which will be basically handling any people who have not pre-registered or have some issues with their registrations. The packets are going to include the color-coded name badge and lanyard. As I mentioned, the parking validation. In order to speed things up in and out of the parking lot, we've just gone with mass validation process. So just tell them you're with MIPA and you're in. We got your back. It'll have their stadium tour group time and the meetup place on their ticket. and then gala reception tickets. I mentioned the end buyers are getting a gift bag of samples with a t-shirt. And we start out with Paul Ballantone. The escalators go up to the third level to the Hall of Legends. We've got coffee and breakfast pastries available. Terrific message. You really want your clients to hear this. It is really eye-opening, I think, for end buyers to find out that we are the 8th largest advertising media, that we're the 3rd or 4th fastest growing advertising medium, that we're more relevant today than ever before. And we've got the research that backs it up and proves it. It's really an exciting message, and one that you want your clients to hear. Hall of Legends is kind of a nice, impressive little walkway up on the 3rd level. You walk in under the sign. Both sides have great lion grates, kind of like the Hall of Fame of Detroit Lions players. Great for a sports fan, and as those doors at the back of that picture open up, it enters the hall where the presentation will be. There's some beautiful open windows that open out onto the city, so it's quite impressive. Adams Street, as I showed you in the little map at the beginning there, this is where the exhibits are going to be after that post. The post and the archway will have a balloon decoration, and it's going to be impressive. We've got 100 booths sold, and it's going to be a great event. So here's what the floor plan looks like. As you can see, lines of 10 foot by 10 foot booths all the way down Adams Street. Our list of exhibitors that we have signed up is on our website. It's at www.mipa.org/roar-exhibitors, roar-exhibitors.html. I see that got cut off on my screen here. Oh, there it is. And that's where you can find the current list of exhibitors. The exhibits themselves open at 11 o'clock, run till 3 o'clock. And you're going, that's a long day, particularly if I got there early. I've had my donut and my coffee, but now I'm hungry. We're just going to have coffee and water service in that east atrium area for just resting your bones and regrouping with your clients. The Breadstick Restaurant is a very nice restaurant operated by Levy, the caterer for Ford Field. It's on the 2nd level. It's going to be open all day long, and they serve food all day long. I believe I got a picture here coming up of a portion of their menu. Very reasonable, nice place to sit down and grab a bite with your clients without leaving the field. Or if you'd like, you can bring them up to the MIPA suite. We're going to be on the 3rd level. We're not having anything real hearty. We've got a lot of junk food. We do have some fruit, but we're going to have pretzels and popcorn and just basically game day type snacks and appetizers. That's $30 to enjoy the MIPA suite, and you'll be able to buy those at the day of the show if you decide that. So as I mentioned, here's your food options. The atrium, coffee and water service, and this atrium area is where we're going to have a place where you can relax and conference and meet. However, around 2:30, they're going to be switching it over to turn it over into the gala, and that's where the reception will be held. Here's that Breadstick Restaurant I was talking about. As you can see, club sandwich for $5.49, things on the grill, hot dogs $3.30. So, not outrageous for the menu. Here's a picture of the menu of the MIPA suite. Not sure how we're going to have it set up exactly, but I do know we'll have those appetizers. Great place for you to just also bring a client, rest a bit, grab a soft drink and some snacks, take a seat overlooking the field, and just enjoy the ambience that we'll be presenting. That's $30 per person for a pass to the MIPA suite. The stadium tours. Stadium tours, as I mentioned, the 3 o'clocks are all filled up, but we have room for the 3:45 groups. Those will be leaving from Gate G. So sign up for them if you didn't with your registration, so that we can make sure that you get to provide that experience for your clients. There will be 4 groups leaving. One will start in the locker room, one will start in the press box, one on the playing field, one in the corporate suites, and all of the groups will be visiting all 4 of those locations. It takes about 45 minutes for the stadium tours. Hopefully you've got your registrations in today. If you don't, please get them in today. This weekend is when I'll be working on getting the badges and the packets all put together and making it a real smooth experience. Yes, we'll accommodate some last minute changes. However, I can't guarantee that they will be ready for you on Wednesday morning. That may send you over to that blue table or problem child table. So get everything to me by the end of today so that I can have a fun weekend working on that. Hope it's crummy weather. Anyway, but you've invited your clients, you've registered for them. Just send them a quick note reminding them, keeping the excitement up. Send one out today, send one out on Monday. Make sure again on Wednesday morning, depending on when you planned on going with them. Also, make sure that you're real clear about samples. You may want to mention to your clients that that they have to order the samples through you. The suppliers know better. They've done lots of end user shows. Something like 18 out of the 27 regionals have end user shows, plus a lot of individual distributors have them. So our suppliers know the drill, but so they know that they're not supposed to send out samples unless they're free or you've given them their specific approval. There's going to be some premium reps there, so you don't want your client ordering a Waterford Crystal set or something like that, or a big screen TV. Make sure you're following up with your clients after the show. Your clients are going to be getting a clipboard, and with that, there's going to be a lead form that's going to have their code number that we've created for them, as well as their name on it, be personalized for them, and they can carry that with them and write down what they want more information on, things that they want to ask you to get a sample for. You'll receive this form after the show. If the client doesn't give it to you directly, we'll be collecting them as they leave, and we will make sure that they go directly to you. All of the information you gave us when you registered is how those forms are coded and how they're going to get back to you. Also, really encourage your clients to take their notes and to get back with you on their interests or questions and ideas, and make sure you're taking copious notes throughout the day with them. Touch base with them. Some of you will be walking your clients through. Others are going to have clients arriving all day long and coming and going on their own. But make sure you've got a plan in place for following up and regrouping and making those connections. Don't have to worry about client confidentiality. Only thing that's going to be on their badge is their first name, that they're your guest, and what industry they're in. So mine would say Paul, guest of MIPA Association. Yours might say John, guest of ABC Promotions Automotive. That's the only information showing on the outside of the badge. There will be a number on there that is based on your registration, and it will tie them directly back to them. Again, be judicious. Don't hand out business cards. It's easy to be misconstrued. We all work in a very paranoid industry. I've often said this industry operates on paranoia, was born with paranoia. This is an experience for your end buyers. We are trying to create an experience for your end buyers, for yourself, and for the suppliers, for everyone. So in the spirit of that, this is a great opportunity for you to really give your clients something they just can't get anywhere else. Plus, it gives them the chance to actually see the best of our business on display, where they can touch it, feel it, and really see how they operate. ask about business cards to suppliers. If possible, I'd avoid any business cards. It's just real easy for that to get misconstrued. So just be very aware of people are going to be watching each other. It does get a little bit of to that point. So I would much rather have you identify yourself to the supplier and have them write your name down rather than having you handing out business cards, because someone's going to come back to us and say, so-and-so's handing out their business cards, and even though it was between a distributor and a supplier, they're going to be pointing that out, and well, it could happen. So be very judicious about that. Mention the reception. At 3 o'clock, the exhibitors, you've all been to trade shows. You know, at 3 o'clock, we'll be hearing that musical sound of as the strapping shipping tape comes out. So in order to distract that, we will start the Motown music playing in the atrium area. We'll have appetizers out. We'll have a cash bar, and people will be starting their stadium tours, so some will be leaving. Rory will probably be around in this area with some photo opportunities. Around 4:30, we've got just a real quick awards ceremony. We want to recognize some of the volunteers who have made this happen, some people who have given a lot to the industry, and we'll also be announcing the 2014 Great Lakes Supplier Rep of the Year. Everything will be totally user-friendly, and user-friendly. So that will be happening there. We have professional photographers hired for throughout the entire day, so they will be capturing the memories of the day. They'll be taking pictures of Rory as he meets with your clients. They'll be taking pictures of you as you go through the stadium tour, at the locker room, on the field, and those photographs will be uploaded online. We'll have that link for you shortly after the show. And we've negotiated that, unlike the races that I've participated in where they send you, here's your picture, it's $20. We've got online prices starting at $3 for a 4x6. So you can have some professional photography of the day, share that with your suppliers, and that will work out. That will be a great opportunity for you. So for the post-show follow-up, make sure you review the notes with your clients. Make sure that you order samples. Set up a post-show appointment to follow up with them. And I might do this before the show, actually, but certainly after the show, I'd lay out a 4 to 6 month calendar and talk to the clients and say, we've got this coming up. We're probably going to be too late for Halloween, but Thanksgiving is next month. The winter holidays, Christmas, Hanukkah, and all of the holiday seasons here. End of the year gift giving and awards and recognitions. We've got New Year's and the new initiatives that many companies will be announcing right after the first year. And then that other unofficial American holiday, the Super Bowl, the first Sunday in February, and being at an NFL stadium, what a great place to be brainstorming about football-related promotions. And then, of course, Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day. It's really not even too early to start talking about Earth Day. So a lot of upcoming events that warrant promotional products that you can help with. And so I would make sure that you have a great plan in place to really get the most out of the time you're going to be investing in this, the money that you've spent to invite clients to this, as well as the time that your clients are investing giving it to you. I've come to promotions at ROAR was based on the Lions, but I've come to the acronym of ROAR, Return on a Relationship, because this is really the day that you can really establish a tight relationship with your clients. Make sure you send them a thank you note for attending the show. It's just a classy way to end that experience. If you paid the $10 for them and they don't show up, we will still have a gift bag for them. So we will be holding back the gift bags for every end buyer that's registered. So that gives you one more touch point where you can really come back to them with a reason to call, and making sure that that they get a little bit of the show experience, even if they miss the show itself. But of course, who would do that? So again, it's members only. If you have questions, please feel free to type them into the box, or actually everybody's unmuted, so you can just speak up. And John Bates is also on the line. And John, do you have anything you'd like to add?
A couple things. There's probably, hopefully not, but there might be some confusion for end users and even distributors when they come to Ford Field if they're not familiar with downtown. So we're going to have a lot of signs outside pointing you and your clients to Gate G. And then internally as well, we'll have a lot of signs laid out. So I know there are some that have invited clients and won't be with them. So just let them know that if they have any issues, there'll be signs both outside and inside. And then the other thing that I would stress is if you haven't registered yet, make sure you do that after this call, because we are anticipating a lot of people that aren't registered that are going to show up the day of, and that table will be backed up. So if you are registered, we'll have everything ready for you and your buyers. So make sure if you haven't done that yet, even if you're not sure if you're going to go, register so you'll be able to have your badge and packet ready to go.
Thanks, John. And if any of you have any questions about the status of your registration, shoot me an email. I'm living in that database right now, so it'll be pretty close at hand. I can get back to you pretty quickly with an answer for that. And I'll be living in that database probably this weekend as well. So don't be afraid to shoot me an email if you have any questions or anything I need to work on. Anyone else have any other questions? As always, MIPA is really rediscovering, rebuilding, and reinventing itself, and we really welcome your suggestions and comments for the type of events, services, and other ways that we can be more relevant to helping you be more professional. And if there's no other questions, I would just like to thank you for attending today's webinar.